This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville, by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion, by Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC, and by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
Welcome inside Bridgestone Arena. Predators and the Washington Capitals here this evening. And let's go to Stu for our Toyota starting goaltenders.
Starting a net for your Nashville Predators. Just his sixth start this season. Carter Hutton is 0-3-2. He's 2.60 goals against average, .905 save percentage last time around. 30 of 33 shots he stopped in a shootout loss versus Anaheim. That was a 4-3 outing. Recent trip to the West Coast for the Preds. Braden Holtby on the other side for the Washington Caps. He is a robust 22, 8, and 7, 2.17 goals against, .924 save percentage. Last game, a 1-0 win. He posted his fourth shutout this season. Stopped all 21 he saw that night.
Paul Gaustad tied up with the opening faceoff with Nick Backstrom the center as the puck comes toward the Nashville line. And offside already was Alex Ovechkin, giving us an opportunity for tonight's board keys.
Couple of keys. Number one, stifle Ovechkin. He is a handful. He is lethal, and he is on a north of 40 game pace so far. Got to contain him. Keep an eye on him. Pound the puck. Nashville is successful when it's pressuring the puck. It turns the puck over, and it feeds the transition.
Ex-Predator Jack Killen on with Mike Green as the puck goes to the left side. Just slipped away from Bourque. Green carrying in an offside at the Nashville blue line. Now we go to our injury report brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. Washington has John Erskine, Dmitry Orlov, and Aaron Volpetti on injured reserve. Eric Fair is a scratch tonight. Steve Oleksky as well. And for Nashville, Ryan Ellis, Eric Nystrom, Pekka Rinne, and Victor Stallberg.
Hearing that Eric Nystrom may not be that far away, perhaps Preds leave here to play Detroit tomorrow night. Montreal after that, one of those two games. See the return of Eric Nystrom.
Stick just went flying out of the hands of Andre Burakovsky. Colin Wilson tips, and Fisher breaks out to Neal. James Neal, a shot deflected off the inboard. Given back to him by Fisher. Here's Shea Weber. That blocks, but Neal picks it up. Ovechkin's stick broke on the play. Fisher tries to chip it back out front. Neal goes back after with gusto against Backstrom. Turn back to Weber. And across for Seth Jones. They exchange positions. Seth Jones some room now. Tried to drag it, but it's taken away as he fanned on it. And Backstrom clears it to the Nashville zone.
Key matchup to keep your eyes on here tonight. Heard Coach Laviolette talk about it. Gaustad's line will draw the Backstrom line as often as possible.
Brooks Orpik, a high-rising shot. Glove down by Carter Hutton.
Coach Laviolette succeeded Barry Trotz as the head coach of the Nashville Predators. He has amassed a 17-1 record at home this season so far. Recently coached his 800th game, did Coach Laviolette. Spread over career with the Islanders, Carolina Hurricanes, Philadelphia Flyers, and now Nashville.
Off the face-off, tapped over and chopped away from Craig Smith. Next Predator, Michael Lotta, who never played a regular season game here, sends the puck down low again as White, Brooks White, working the left side against Mike Ribeiro. Philip Forsberg took a little chip at it, and a shot kicked away last instant there. The right pad of Carter Hutton flashed out.
Terrific save by Hutton. Chance kind of manufactures out of nowhere. Brook likes turns, wheels, throws it at the far side. Hutton with a big right pad save.
Bartley and Volchenkov on now defensively for the Predators. Joel Ward tried to dig it away. Ward got his stick on it again. Now Evgeny Kuznetsov tries to make the play, and it's taken back for Smith. Pulled up by Forsberg. Misses the net. Rebound shoveled low. Forsberg picks himself up, comes out to the side of the net. Played off the sidewall there by Troy Brouwer. Wide now of the Capitals trying to go up on the forecheck and set back in. Where it's Ekholm getting it for Nashville. Marcus Johansson was coming in after it. Tipped by Olli Jokinen into the zone. Johansson could not make a play. Here's Matt Cullen. Cullen turning toward the net, and Jack Hillen poke checked it away.
Cullen looked like he had a lane to the net there. Makes the cut inside. Thwarted last second by Hillen.
Loaded up to center ice. Knocked down there by Wilson. Put it off the board. Got it himself. Jay Beagle driving to the net. But that one is gloved down by Carter Hutton.
Earlier, just prior to this stoppage, Hutton tested early. Looks like, there you see it, he just grabs that puck, takes it off the skate, and that fadeaway snapper. Hutton's actually obstructed as well. Bartley's in that spot, shooting lane, and then transitions back the other way. Nice little play by Smith to lay it off to Forsberg. Forsberg misses out the short side.
Niskanen centers it. Beagle missed the net as he spun in the low slot. Out across the line, it is forced. Rolled back to Niskanen. Jason Chimera comes on. Chimera, the shot off the chest of Hutton, but then he snares it out of midair.
Seems strange to say, but a goaltender likes work early, especially a guy in Carter Hutton's situation. Here you see Chimera walking in over the blue, snaps one through traffic. Two things you like about that. Carter picks it up, he spots it through Bartley, makes the stop, and then a great job controlling the rebound. No secondary opportunity. He smothers to force this face-off.
Backstrom versus Gostad, who pulls it back. Up the right wing boards, tipped by Beck. Ovechkin to center ice. Backstrom breaks in after taking the feed from Borkowski. Backstrom hounded all the way out. And that shot taken by Alzner and deflects away. Pass to the Predators' right wing side. Alzner checked by Gostad. Roman Josi wide of Gostad, and it comes right back to Alzner. Ovechkin floats one down for Backstrom, deflects wide. Burakovsky, all over him was Gostad. Bort comes back to take it off the referee's skates. Referees tonight, Greg Kimmerly and Ian Walsh. Linesman Greg Dvorsky and Jay Sheridan.
Like Gostad jumping down there early under the goal line. Forces Alzner, creates that turnover.
And that goes over the head of Joel Ward, deflecting out of play.
What more is left to be said about that man, Coach Barry Trotz, 15 years behind the Nashville bench. He's got a 12-6-4 record on the road this season. Done a great job with these Washington Capitals here in the early going. I'll tell you, Pete, one of the things I find most remarkable, noteworthy about Trotz's achievements here, took this team to the second round of the playoffs in consecutive seasons just shortly before his departure. Really helped to establish Nashville as a legitimate contender in the Western Conference.
And with Washington, as you noted this morning, every player is in the plus column.
Remarkable.
What a turnaround for that team. That pass centered, trying for Fisher, deflected out. And Ekholm sends it back in. Braden Holtby stopped it. Neal collides there with Orpik. Neal and Fisher as the puck popped out. And falling on it was Latta. Fans thinking perhaps there should have been a closing the hand penalty there.
Terrific determination by Fisher in a battle for loose pucks with Brooks Orpik. Orpik down into the seat of his pants.
Volchenkov and Bartley, and that's deflected and picked up by Colin Wilson. Joel Ward chips it back out of there for the Capitals. Shots are 3-0 Washington. And the puck is tipped in low by Colin Wilson. Jack Hillen with it now. Signed as a free agent with the Capitals 2 summers ago. Now Forsberg breaking in. Draws a penalty in the process. and the shot is stopped by Holtby. Slashing will be the call. Predators will go on the power play when we return. 6:07 gone in the first. It's the Capitals and the Predators, nada. Barry Trotz saluting the fans for saluting him. On our first television timeout, a scoreboard tribute to the original coach of the Nashville Predators, and he's responding to all the fans in the arena here this evening, as is Lane Lambert.
Well, you don't spend 15 years in the company of one coach, one team, one set of fans. An important connection doesn't evolve, and there you see Coach Trotz paying his respects in return. Say it again, Pete. Really did help forge the identity of this team, which is a honest, hard-working, in every game kind of hockey team right from the start. So leaves an important legacy.
Power play for the Predators. Jack Hillen, ex-Predator in the box for the Slash at 6:07. Then right up, Seth Jones. His shot lane was taken away at the last instant. Jones left side, and that shot deflected off Holtby. And on the right half forward, Mike Ribeiro. Given off to Smith, and his shot off the stick of Holtby. Ribeiro, the half wall again. Ekholm's shot deflected up and out of play.
Great chance on the power play here in the early going. Terrific shot selection by Ekholm. He's out the wide side, just above the faceoff dot. The great Holtby's right. You can see that shot comes through traffic. Holtby doesn't pick it up till late. Holtby has looked sharp early. Both tenders tested. High-grade opportunity here in the early going.
Brouwer and Like now the Washington penalty-killing forwards. Puck comes back and just bounced off the blade of Seth Jones' stick. Jones has it again. Ribeiro skates over to meet it. Ribeiro also played for the Capitals at one point. Low right Wilson trying to get it to Smith. At the line, no. It's popped out, and Seth Jones takes issue with that. The interpretation of linesman Greg Dvorsky.
Terrific play by Mike Ribeiro early in that power play. He's on the opposite half wall, does a great job picking that puck off, protecting it, jumping into the middle. As you say, Pete, 2012-13, he spent a season with the Washington Caps, put up 49 points. That's the lockout year, 48 games, a point-a-game pace.
Yossi drills it in as the Predators change their power play. Here's it out. Forsberg dropped the attempted clear of Carl Alston. And now it's sent skidding down to the right of Carter Hutton. Leaves it for Weber. Brouwer came in deep. Now Chimera on the PK for Washington. Fisher sends it back. Shea Weber to the right side and Forsberg. 28 seconds left. In the power play, Weber's shot hard off the Zamboni door. Tipped back for Yossi. Yossi shot, rebound left in front. Backhand try blocked as well. Another try blocked in front and cleared out across the line by Niskanen.
Good chances for the Preds off the stick of Shea Weber. Misses the short side with a big heavy shot. He's got all kinds of space to let it go.
Cleared down ice. Predators managed 2 shots on that power play. It's 0-0 here as we come up to 11:45 remaining in the first. Shots even out to the power play at 3. Yossi was stripped of it, but Bourque followed up and supported him there. Brooks Orpik up ice. Here's Alex Ovechkin breaking in. His shot deflected off Seth Jones and is gloved by Carter Hutton.
We talked to Coach Laviolette today about Alex Ovechkin. He is a handful. Of course, Laviolette spent a number of seasons in Philadelphia. The Eastern Conference gets to know Alex Ovechkin very well. All kinds of pace, all kinds of speed off the rush. We talked about this man in our open. Plays with a lot of passion, plays with a lot of emotion. He raises the level of the people around him. You've got to account for him when he's out there.
To the right side of Carter Hutton. And Gaustad was able to pretty much tie up Nick Backstrom. And this will be an icing against the Predators. Back to the right of Carter Hutton. Shares sort of deked him there with the drop of the puck, didn't he?
Psych.
Right to the net it went. And Hutton responded well.
Backstrom goes ahead with it. Bit of a surprise to Gaustad. Strong play at the net by Backstrom. Watch Ovechkin set up off this faceoff. He wants separation. He wants space from Roman Josi so he can get that shot off should Backstrom win it back.
Ovechkin got it and snapped his shot wide of the net. May have been deflected. Burakovsky did not make the play. And Bourque, after the feed, given a Shea Weber, and Weber's shot gloved down by Holtby. But a nice play there by Taylor Back to get that whole rush going.
Talked about Ovechkin's separation off the draw. Draw well won back by Backstrom. This is one of the best releases in pro hockey today. You see Ovechkin rear back and unleash through sticks, legs, all kinds of traffic. Good test for Carter Hutton early. See his confidence growing back there. You know he likes to see a little rubber early.
Cullen took the draw. A shot up against the chest of Holtby with 9:06 gone.
It's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, purchase a ticket for the game on Tuesday, January 27th against Colorado, and receive a ticket to the Tuesday, February 3rd game against Toronto for free. To order, call 615-770-7800 or visit NashvillePredators.com/Hot Ticket Time. Offer good through the end of tonight's game. Order now.
Man, I hear that music. I just can't stop from playing the air fiddle.
The air fiddle is in fine form tonight, Per Weber.
And an offside forced by Orpik's poke jack at the Washington line.
Brings up an interesting point. You see that play right there. Here's been an important part of why the Washington Capitals are defending better. Signed free agent Brooks Orpik, Matt Niskanen out of the Pittsburgh organization. Last year, you talked to the insiders, the guys that follow this team. And this has been an important part of the turnaround here for the Washington Caps. They defend much better. Brooks Orpik, rock solid at the line.
And down after that faceoff, right at the blue line. Slow to get up, Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Drops immediately after the exchange with Ribeiro on the drop of the puck. We'll get a chance to show it to you right here. Yeah, it looks like Ribeiro accidentally is trying to lift the stick of Kuznetsov, who comes up and into the mush of Kuznetsov, and of course he'll go off, rinse out the dentures, and I'm sure we'll see him back in action before long.
Tipped high and offside is going to be the call as Troy Brouwer went after the puck.
Troy Brouwer well offside. Traded over from Chicago, their first-round pick. Won a Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks back in 2010. Put together a solid campaign so far. 12 goals, 10 assists, 22 on the season for Troy Brouwer.
Alsner over right side. Brouwer the flip in. Ekholm comes over, and now back on the ice is Evgeny Kuznetsov. Out to the point. Played away by Carter Hutton. Capitals and Predators each with 5 shots on net. Nothing as we come up to the halfway point of the first period.
Well, if the first 10 are any indication, these two teams.
Oh, Fred Forsberg right in front. Was able to get a shot off that bouncing puck. And Holtby able to make the stop. 10:07 gone. Forsberg has had the best 2 chances for the Predators here tonight. Still 0-0.
Welcome back, the Nashville Predators and the Washington Capitals still scoreless here in the first. Now I'm down here on the bench with Roman Josi. Roman, Peter Laviolette spoke to me earlier about how important it would be to take time and space away from Ovechkin. How do you feel you guys have executed that so far?
I think it's been pretty good so far. I mean, he's obviously a dangerous player, and Backstrom kind of always finds a way to find him somewhere. So, yeah, we got to keep taking his time and space away.
And had the power play a few minutes ago. Couldn't quite convert, but do you feel you guys were getting some good looks?
Yeah, we did. We got a couple shots. There was some good movement, and we just got to keep shooting the puck.
All right, thanks so much, Roman.
Predators setting up in the Washington zone. And a spin attempt there by Fisher, deflected off Orpik, given back to Fisher, and now to Josi at the line. His shot, Neal tried to redirect. Pass tipped, it comes back to Shea Weber. They were trying to set up Fisher to fear. Colin Wilson in the trapezoid. Spins out of there and taken away by Ovechkin. Back from Burakovsky. Coming on late for a pick. His shot blocked in front by Fisher.
Terrific block by Fisher. Gosh, he gives it up in a big way. Ends up taking that shot in the upper part of the body.
Down the left side. Wilson initiates the hit there against Carlson. Carlson cross-checks Wilson. Letting them play here tonight in the early going.
And a lot of pace to this one, too. There may not be 2 hotter teams in the NHL. All kinds of activity off the rush. A lot of energy in this one. Mike Fisher with a super defensive play. Typically, you'll see guys go down in front of shots when they believe they can kind of get their shin pads, their lower body in front of it. Fisher just absolutely no holds barred. He ends up taking that one again in the upper body. What a terrific block. That's a sure shot on goal with traffic in and around the net front if it gets by Fisher.
Jam up for the puck on the Predators' left side. Standing in the way there, Carlson. Taken out from back of the net. Trying to spoon it right back in front there was Matt Cullen. Predators get back on side. Nick Backstrom is the man for the Capitals. Off the skate of Brooks Light. For Joel Ward. As Jones got in the way. Jarnkrok from Hutton on the board's right side, Jokinen. He then was blocked by Hillen. White hit hard behind the net, but still bounced back. Ward to Hillen at the point. Wide of the net. Brooks Light burst by Seth Jones there. Kelly Jarnkrok turns, got double teamed in the corner. Now he gets help from Bartley. Strong along the door toward the Lexus Lounge downstairs. Boy, what a scrum has developed there. Jarnkrok up for Cullen, who got it around Green. Green sends it in airborne. Latta almost got it straight away from Jones to the right wing at center, and Forsberg gets it back inside the Nashville line. 7:05 remaining in a 0-0 first period. Taken by Alsner and around Volchenkov. Onto the right board, and Ribeiro, quick backhand feed to Craig Smith. Smith tried to slip it between the defensemen. And Alsner for Chimera. Beagle got spun around. In the corner right side of Carter Hutton. They're going after each other pretty hard right now. Alsner with a shot wide.
Not sure Hutton picked that up till the last second. Fortunately, that one's wide of the net.
Put up the wall, held in by Beagle. Right side, that shot by Niskanen, and Beagle a backhanded swipe at it. Beagle held up as he went to the sidewall. Wilson kept it away from Ekholm. Thrown low again by Alsner. Volchenkov stepped around Beagle, got the puck, Green at the blue line to keep in as it goes down to the end wall off the kick plate. Hillen now with a try. Off the skate in front. That goes off Volchenkov.
Great block by Volchenkov, and he's in a tough spot. Gets rid of it in a hurry.
Green with a shot. Kuznetsov on the rebound. And then fed it across in front, and Brouwer's shot. Not much mustard on it.
All kinds of possession time in the offensive zone for the Caps. Fred's doing a great job of taking away shooting lanes, block after block after block.
Here's Kuznetsov. Cutting to the net was the defenseman Hillen, but the puck in the glove of Carter Hutton. 14:42 gone on the first. It is still 0-0 Predators and Capitals.
Show you a physical exchange between the two men on your television screen. Ovechkin leaving the Washington defensive zone. Jones comes down hard on the Ovechkin stick, and there you can see it travel up the stick and actually clips Ovechkin right on the thumb. He heads to the bench immediately after. That one smarted. Not enough. He's right back in the action.
And poised at the top of the faceoff circle, left of Carter Hutton. Rostad again tied up Backstrom. Burakovsky comes after it. Backstrom spinning against Bork. Here is Orpik. And then that shot goes off the shoulder of Hutton. And then his glove as Carlson got it away.
Good chance for Washington. Play transitions. There you see it go point to point, and then a big one-time shot from the left point side. What you like about that, watch the bottom of your screen. Weber freezing out Ovechkin, keeping him out of the scoring area. Like that play, good presence of mind, Shea Weber.
Sent in low. Green versus Bork. Rostad comes down to help. Got it into the trapezoid. Hillen's battle and then fed out by Backstrom. On the attack now, the Capitals. Backstrom trying to set up the man breaking in backside there, and that was the defenseman Green activating up from the blue line for the Capitals. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first. Rostad goes to the bench for Nashville. Wilson, Fisher, Neal in the Washington zone. Hillen looks as if he's trying to mesmerize everybody. And this will be a race, and the icing call goes against the Capitals with 15:54 gone.
A couple of things these two coaches have in common. Most wins among active coaches. Not a lot of separation between Peter Laviolette, Coach Barry Trotz. 581 for Coach Trotz. Peter Laviolette nibbling into the top 10, or trying to nibble into the top 10 in the 11th spot.
And up the boards it comes, popped away from Brooks Light. Ward backhands it. It comes right back to Joel Ward. And the quick outlet pass. Colin Wilson, James Neal. Neal's shot off the pad and then covered by Holtby. And then a little skid over to the corner involving Michael Lotta and James Neal.
Good release off the off wing by James Neal. That line looks awfully sharp tonight. Well handled by Braden Holtby. Of course, with Coach Trotz, transitions over goaltender coach Mitch Korn, and he's had an important impact on Braden Holtby. An important part of the explanation why Holtby's having such a solid season. Terrific January. Teaching Holtby to be more economical, less range of motion, less unnecessary movement. He has been able to kind of coach Holtby to be better positionally, and he's swallowing, absorbing a lot more pucks. Always a tweak.
Yes.
Always a tweak.
Kuznetsov, one back by Yarncroke, walking the line, and the score on the shot by Seth Jones. Predators break through first at 16-16 of the first. Straight
off the draw. Pretty compact shot. Quick release by Jones. One directly back off the stick of Jarnkrok. And Jones uses the traffic that crosses over in front of Braden Holtby. You see Jokinen under the radar, but really a key part of that exchange. Obstructs the vision of Holtby for just a split second. Jones' shot gets by for that reason.
Ekholm to the left side. Cullen tied up there. Matt Niskanen doing that job. Now we're trying for a redirection to Brouwer. To the right point. For a moment anyway. Niskanen kept it in the zone. And now his blind pass intercepted Cullen. Toe drag. And then the stop and the rebound controlled by Holtby.
Give you another look at that faceoff. Keep your eye on that guy right there. That is Olli Jokinen. He's going to burst through this area right here. Watch as this develops. Jones spots it. Holtby's obstructed just for a moment. Can't pick up the Jones shot. Terrific play by Jokinen, crossing over from the right wing side into the net front to create the traffic.
So Jones is third. Predators turn over for them yet again. And sent to the front end, just smacked away by Holtby. As Ribeiro was breaking in tight. Turning there is Smith, pulling it wide to the short side. Smith another try, blocked in front. Jason Chimera feeds it out. Wilson was bearing down for it. Forsberg niftily picked that up off the left board. Comes back toward Ribeiro. Ribeiro flipped it out, and now Wilson forced it back to center. And in the Nashville zone, it's Mattias Ekholm going behind his net. And coming out swiftly the other way.
Terrific job gaining neutral ice. Mattias Ekholm, all kinds of speed around the back of the Nashville net.
Niskanen speed. It's Ovechkin holding up, coming in late. Burakovsky, his shot blocked out by Ekholm. And now tipped away by Neal. Holtby comes out of his net to play the puck. Almost didn't get enough of it there. Backstrom put it inside the Nashville line. The OC got it out for Fisher. Fisher chips in. Burakovsky did not get it out. It'll be Niskanen with Fisher pressuring. Burakovsky a second try, did get it out to center, but Ovechkin was slowed down there by the back-checking Colin Wilson. And into and out of the Predators' net, or bench rather, with 92 seconds left in the period.
I want to show you that great defensive play by Mattias Ekholm. Remember, this occurs just after he has gained the opposition zone. Great job in front, lays down, takes away the low play. Terrific block, lower body. There you see it on the reverse angle. Oh, super play by Matty Ekholm. Again, just giving it up. This team, Pete, really has rallied for Carter. Carter's played well. He's made some solid stops.
Yep.
But these guys are playing with a lot of grit and determination, just sacrificing their bodies to minimize the high-grade opportunity.
Yeah, we can remember straight off 2 great blocks. Ekholm, Fisher. Here's Gostad. Deep for Beck. Beck tied up by Hillen. Beck bounces back. Now it's Latta. The reverses for Green. Green to center. That one did not quite make it to Joel Ward. And under a minute to go in the first. Seth Jones' third goal. The difference in the game. 1-0 Nashville. Josi. Nice display there of stick handling to Beck. Flipped over Beck. Referee tries to get out of the way of Seth Jones. Philip Forsberg pursued by Backstrom. Orpik. Taken to center. Johansson and offside. Trying to feed Ovechkin on the right wing.
Talk with Coach Laviolette today about the opportunity Carter Hutton has here in the absence of Pekka Rinne. It's been a tough year for Carter. He has been spotted in here and there. 5 starts, not always ideal circumstances against high-grade competition, usually on the back end of a back-to-back. So a great opportunity for Carter. Coach Laviolette talked about the trust this group has in him. And you're really seeing that come out here tonight. Again, guys laying down, taking away the low shot. Carter really has been solid here in the early going.
Puck flipped in by Fisher as Carlson tried to knock it down. Fisher pulling his way around. Neal a shot. That deflected off back with 4 seconds to go in the period. Weber struggles to keep it in and succeeds. And time will run out on the first period. A period in which the Predators built a 1-0 lead on Seth Jones' third of the year. In our first intermission, we'll have a Mercedes-Benz of Nashville interview. You'll also get a report from roving reporter Vince Gill and the highlights and stats. Predators outshooting the Capitals 10-8 in the first period.
This team play, I'll tell you what, the kind of start Nashville had that first period, they have left an impression on these visiting Washington Capitals. That was a determined period of hockey. I like the way the Preds are out of the gate the first 20.
And I don't care how much video you watch, Stu. It's not going to help you.
No.
Michigan fires it wide.
You never know until you get your boots on the same sheet of ice with the opposition.
Picking it up and starting it back out, Gaustad. Nice little subtle chop away there by Alsman. Beck shot blocked. Gaustad keeps it deep. Ovechkin got shaken up. Here's Weber, a try. Deflects off the glove of Holtby and out of play. Hey, Monday, don't miss the new college football show, Next Class. We track high school recruits through National Signing Day. Live in studio, 5-star athlete Terry Godwin from Callaway High School to talk about his commitment to UGA. That's right, he'll be going with UGA. Next Class 2015, presented by Hyundai, Monday at 10:30, 9:30 Central on Fox Sports South. Going to UGA, home of UGA. I believe they're on UGA 8 now, the mascot, the Bulldog.
I thought you said Hyundai Monday.
Yes.
Hyundai, I love the way that sounds.
It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It really does.
Seth Jones, and they say it came out.
Tight call at the line.
He's had 2 of these now tonight.
Tight call at the line. Ovechkin and Gabby Bork collide a little bit earlier, just as we shut down on that opening shift. There you see them on the right side of your screen. Accidental contact. Neither player sees the other coming. Wow. Ovechkin gets the worst of that, and he was going off. I wouldn't say he was laboring, limping, or anything like that, but appeared he may have been shaken up on the plate.
You don't see that too often when a Volga collides with a Citroen.
And those are the worst collisions. When they're accidental, you don't see the other side coming. Yeah. You can't brace yourself for them. You don't brace yourself for them. You're left awfully vulnerable. So keep an eye on number 8.
Stopped around Colin Wilson, who was in on the forecheck. Wilson and now Neal crossing by. Pressing it down the left board, Victor Bartley. The keep in Fisher. Boy, did he hammer that. Colin Wilson couldn't field it. Seth Jones in deep with the puck. Colin Wilson accepted it, gave it back for Seth Jones. Bartley toward the net, deflects wide. Fisher with Brooks White on him. White reaches for the puck. Colin Wilson comes back after it. Out toward the point. Off the wall, Bartley. Toward the net, deflected in front. And James Neal with the score. Fortunate bounce of the puck for the Predators. Will go out in front 2-0. A minute 50 into the second period.
James Neal with the insurance marker for these Nashville Preds. Solid minutes out of that Fisher line. See Bartley wheel it down low, and then it's going to be a little redirect by Fisher. It's going to end up on the stick of Neal, far side. Oh my gosh, that is high precision play. Again, that play made by Bartley to Fisher is in the air. Fisher redirects it. It ends up on the stick of Neal at the backside. Hope he can't get there to shore it up. That play's just too complicated.
Neal with his 14th. Fisher and Bartley. 1:50 the time of the score. Brouwer throws it in deep. Kuznetsov. And the puck bounced out from Matthias Ekholm. Onto the wall. And Ribeiro for Forsberg. Forsberg backhands it inside the line. And given back up, Johansson squares up. And his pass taken by Ribeiro. And offside is Forsberg as the puck is picked up by Smith.
Want to show you this play again, the exchange between Bartley Fisher and James Neal. Watch how this one develops. Stop it right there, guys. Bartley's going to grab that puck. He's going to wheel it down to Fisher, and then a little backside play off the stick of Fisher. And then there's Neal at the far spot. Oh my gosh, far side of the net rather. Terrific little play over to Neal. Pete, you can't defend against that.
No.
You can't defend against that. You're going to have plays like that, but Nashville executes in a way that's just impossible to defend against.
Here's Beagle breaking in. That'll be covered up by Hutton. And a traffic jam ensues. Wilson is over there. Boy, I remember seeing Wilson. I think it was almost his first NHL game a few years ago. Predators in Washington, Wilson and Clune.
Yeah.
What a scrap that was.
Tough customer. Tom Wilson, tough customer. Plays important minutes for that Beagle line. I'll tell you, Coach Trotz, a lot of confidence in that group. They'll play against top 6 competition. And I'll tell you what, they'll have top 6 competition hemmed into their own end. So Coach Trotz not afraid to play those guys against high-grade opposition. 7th in penalty minutes last year was Tom Wilson, 151 on the year.
Now Green coming back, pressured by Matt Cullen, and Jokinen following. Green up the right side, Wilson comes out. Stopped by Jokinen. Green again, and he'll curl back. Hillen. There'll be no icing here. Hutton stops at the trapezoid. Up the left board for Cullen. Seth Jones sweeps it. Jokinen gets it. And Järnkrok out now for Cullen. Cullen leaves it. Got it back. His backhander floats by high. Nice play by Bartley again to the forward cutting toward the net.
Terrific play by Bartley. Jumps up to support Cullen, number 1, and then makes a great little feed down to Cullen to put him in a great scoring position.
Here's Nick Backstrom. Squaring up. And then that shot by Ovechkin, and in the net it goes. Only a sniper can do that one. 3:46 into the period. It's a 2-1 game.
And this is why you have to account for number 8. He is sneaky deceptive. He will find quiet space away from the action, and he's got a release and a shot so precise he can pick corners from even down there, just about below the tops of the circles, up and over the shoulder of Carter Hutton. Terrific shot by Alex Ovechkin, his 23rd of the season so far.
What a laser beam that was.
Loves that off-wing side. He'll float over there. Backstrom is very skilled at finding him.
Let's take a look at the overhead to see how tight that squeeze was.
You see Carter Hutton, as that play transitions over to his right side, he's trying to shore up the near side, the right side. Ovechkin takes a peek, he sees the daylight, and he finds it.
It's a 2-1 game, his 23rd, 3:46 of the second period. Alsner and Backstrom with the helpers. Carter Hutton looking for the play. Onto the right board, and then held in by a spinning Joel Ward. Left side. Josi has to go back. Captain Shea Weber for Neal. Across ice, and Fisher pulls back inside the Nashville blue line and leaves it for Roman Josi, who is pursued vehemently there by Joel Ward. Off it comes. Kuznetsov the shot, deflects out. They wanted to feed it over for Orpik, but Neal took it away.
Carlson mishandles it. Creates the transition opportunity for James Neal.
And Neal, a hard shot off the half wall, gloved down by Holtby.
Well, Coach Trotz transitions over to Washington, and of course, blessed with all kinds of important offensive weapons, such as Alex Ovechkin. We just saw that on display in full regalia not that long ago. But a key part of the challenge for Coach Trotz, getting this group to buy in to the defensive side. Alex Ovechkin is minus 35 last season. He is now plus 10 on the year. So Coach Trotz, as he does so well, has implemented structure here with these Washington Capitals.
Now, last year, Ovechkin, the clear-cut winner among forwards for the Masters green jacket.
Minus 35. You can only go up from there, right? You can't fall off the floor.
I would not think
minus
so.
35 is as deep as it gets.
Yep. Wasn't like in the days of the almost original Capitals. There were some bad minuses there. Feet across in front, fanning on that try, Carlson. Carried out by Johansson. Carlson in front again. Swings it off the left pad of Carter Hutton. And there's going to be a tripping call here. A one-goal game and a power play chance for the Capitals.
Looks like Matty Ekholm's going to go for
Nashville 14, minor penalty trip.
For the trip. Breaks down inside the Nashville zone. You see there, Carlson left all alone, makes a great little move on Ekholm to get that opportunity. Great kick save by Hutton. Matty Ekholm's upset. All he's doing is laying his stick across the leg with one hand, and it really appeared to me like Carlson almost loses his balance, but with Ekholm's stick on it, draws the minor penalty for that reason.
Well, Beck is on now as a penalty killing forward with Paul Gostad. So line mates come back out in the special teams shorthanded situation. And you notice at the points, Green with Ovechkin. This is Green carrying. Brouwer, a tough guy, goes up front. And they also have Johansson as a forward in this power play unit for the Capitals, which comes in fourth best record in terms of converting their power play chances. And Ovechkin scores to tie it up. Similar situation, this time the man advantage. And he puts it away in the upper right-hand corner at 6:18. Ovechkin's 11th on the power play.
11th on the power play. Comes in tonight, second in power play goals league-wide. And there again, you see similar play, similar spot. Puck thrown down to him off the stick of Green. A little higher this time, improved angle, but it comes in quick transition. Hutton's not able to get over to the short side to wall that off. Ovechkin up over the shoulder, and just like that, we've got a 2-2 hockey game.
The only shot they got on that power play a chance, the only one they needed. Ovechkin has his 23rd and 24th of the year at 3:46 and 6:18 of the second period after the Predators have extended their lead to 2-0. All even at 2.
Fair example of Washington brings into this game here tonight. Fourth best power play in the NHL, clipping along at 23.6%.
6:41 gone. Alex Ovechkin has tied this game up, it seems almost single-handedly, here in the second period.
Welcome back. The Predators and the Capitals tied up at 2-2 here in the second period. Yesterday, the Predators took a mid-season break and headed out to the all-new Ford Ice Center. In front of a packed crowd, they practiced. Lots of energy, lots of fun. The fans also enjoyed free concessions, some giveaways, and afterwards had the opportunity to participate in an open skate. Pete and Stu, you guys were both there. What did you guys think of the event?
I tell you what, I couldn't believe the turnout and how enthusiastic everyone was.
I've never been there before when we've had to access the overflow crowd. I got there, the overflow parking rather.
Yes.
I had to park on the parking area down below. Folks had a ball. Free lunch, free ice, and you got to watch the team skate. Tell you what, it was a great practice too. A lot to watch.
Don't let those people make you believe there's no such thing as a free lunch. Yesterday there was. Drilled into the zone by Burakovsky. And then fed out front, chopped away, and the shot blocker down by Hutton. All that with Ovechkin, part of the attack. Capitals now. Orpik and Carlson. Swept over smartly and out to center ice. Wilson tried to dump it back in. Brooks Orpik. Seth Jones now for Victor Bartley. Deflected in from outside the line by Yarncrook. Holtby goes to his left. Chimera tried to get it out. Fed across for Bartley. Bartley backhands, knocked down and fed out by Carlson. Bartley almost stolen cleanly by Chimera.
Bartley's looking to go D-to-D with defense partner Seth Jones. Chimera turns it over. Fortunately, Jones and Bartley together are able to snuff it out.
Cullen's pass floating. Yarncroke couldn't get to it. And then Jokinen, a shot blocked by Holtby.
Great play by Matt Cullen to filter that over to the far side. High grade opportunity for Jokinen. Terrific save by Braden Holtby.
Anton Volchenkov. Deflected in, reaching for it Smith. Ridden out by Brouwer. Hillen gives it to Brouwer, deep right side. And then missed Hillen. Johansson. His try blocked by Forsberg, and now Kuznetsov got it out to center. From the Nashville zone, Ekholm feeds it ahead. Ribeiro and Smith enter the zone. Smith and Forsberg. Smith turns on Kuznetsov. And the shot got to the point. Now Green, and his pass deflects back for Hillen. Jack Hillen. Johansson sweeps it in. Capitals goal for a change. Johansson staying on, puts up the referee's head low. Taylor Beck checked by Beagle. Wilson there too. Boy, what a forecheck being put on by the Capitals now.
Big momentum swing in this one. Fairly obvious point, but Pred's challenge is reversing course in all this. Need a shift or two, start stringing them together in the opposition zone.
Beagle tried to feed it out front, and it slipped away for Beck. Beck and Brooks Light. And then Forsberg got it down ice. Matt Niskanen onto the right board. Joel Ward comes on for Beagle. Beagle trying to slip away from Ekholm. Ward doing a little catch there with Lyke out for Niskanen. Left side, that try blocked in front. May have been actually blocked by the skates of Lyke. Lyke got to it, and that deflected the shot by Beagle. Slipping it out was Cullen, but he was blocked trying to exit the zone. Yarncroke slipped away from him. They follow Beagle down the boards. Turned over, but a bouncing puck that Jokinen could not secure. Here's Alex Ovechkin breaking in with Burakovsky in the big shot. Off the left pad of Carter Hutton. Burakovsky with the rebound. The Austrian held on to it for a moment. And now it's sent over for James Neal.
Good pressure by Jokinen. Forces that turnover on Burakovsky. Gets Nashville transitioning back the other way.
Washington so far credited with 14 blocks. And there's a save by Holtby on the try by Colin Wilson. It is 2-all. 17-14 the shots favoring Washington. Hutton just stopping that recent try by Ovechkin.
Welcome back. The Predators and the Capitals still tied up at 2-all, and now I'm down here on the bench with Kevin McCarthy. Coach, James Neal scores not even 2 minutes into this period. What have you thought of that line's production tonight in general?
Oh, that's very good. Obviously, with Fish in center ice here, really gives that line some 200-foot player. He plays good offense, good defense. He can play against any line, so it really helps those guys, especially with Willie and Neal on the wings. I think they do a good job in the offensive zone of putting pucks at the net and creating traffic, so it's a good line.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Let's see if the Predators put some pressure on here with the Ribeiro line out. Niskanen on the wall for Like and picked up by Joel Ward. Beagle tries to fill the hole and jabs one wide to the left of Carter Hutton. Philip Forsberg with the puck. Smith just sort of flipped it out front and taken back over by Alsner.
High-risk play by Craig Smith. Attempted breakout, but puts it into a high traffic area. That could have ended up a good chance for Washington.
Nothing directly, and that pass came out, and Ribeiro slipped it back for Josi. Right wing Smith dropped it back, Forsberg, and that deflected off Holtby to the right wall. Brouwer for Like. And Like dumps it in.
Terrific chance for Philip Forsberg. He doesn't get a lot on that shot, but the fact that he gets it off quick has the potential to fool Braden Holtby. We'll get a chance to show you that again. See it transition out. Smith will lay it back to Forsberg, and as quick as he gets it up onto his stick from his skates, he gets it off in a hurry, realizing the window's closing. And he's got gold jerseys going to the front of the net.
So there, Philip Forsberg. Capitals took him in the draft in 2012 and then came over in the E-Rat ladder trade. Off the drive there. There's a drive by Ovechkin. Try to flip it back in front. Backstrom. So Ovechkin, after scoring twice in the period already, 2 other great chances, and there's another one right in front. Covered up by Carter Hutton.
To defend Ovechkin effectively, you almost have to be within a stick length whenever he's out here, because he creates chances just like this one. There he is again. He's found some quiet space deep inside the zone. And there's 2 pieces to this. Backstrom knows the way he plays, and Backstrom has the ability to find him when Ovechkin finds the quiet space. Another harrowing opportunity against for Nashville.
Here's Ovechkin, a shot that was blocked. He's put 5 on net of the Capitals' 18 and has both of their goals. Taylor Beck deflects it. Hillen has to go back to retrieve. Hillen working with Carlson time being. And Carlson's out for Ovechkin. Ovechkin down inside the line. And I thought they were going to call an offside there, but the Predators evidently shot it back in. Green up the right side. Kuznetsov dumps it behind the Nashville net. Ekholm sweeps it to center. Jarnkrok got a piece of it. Sends a spinning puck over toward Jokinen. Jokinen with Kuznetsov leaving it in the corner. Brouwer forced back by Cullen. Cullen steals it. Jarnkrok for Jokinen. Tried to put it in front, off the goaltender with the paddle down. Cullen has it again. Tried to slip it out in front. Jokinen was not in position. And Kuznetsov takes it away. Gets up to the Capitals' bench area. Knocked down there and golfed in by Brouwer.
A couple of good looks for the Jarnkrok line. First off the stick of Jokinen, second Matt Cullen.
Beagle with the steal. Like with a shot. Penalty coming up here. And let's see what Ian Walsh is going to call.
Looks like Volchenkov's going to go. He and Tom Wilson come together, battle for a loose puck, battle for position down low.
Here's the call.
Nashville number 20, minor penalty, interference.
You see those two, Wilson at the top of your screen and Volchenkov come together. Volchenkov just trying to remove Wilson from the front of the Nashville net and effectively put Nashville at the man disadvantage once again.
So the second power play of the game for the Capitals, both in this period. They needed just 1 shot to convert that previous try. Green took away his passing lane to Ovechkin. That puck bouncing off Johansson. Fed back for Green. Quickly to Ovechkin. Ovechkin returning it to Green. Nick Backstrom with Brower in the slot. His shot kicked away, and the rebound cleared down ice.
It's saved by Carter Hutton, thrown hard at the net. Kicks off the right pad, and Weber's in a good spot to send it the length of the ice.
Backstrom brings it in. Johansson. Brower. And Johansson approached to the side by Ekholm. Nick Backstrom tried to feed it across, but it bounced away from Ovechkin, and it ends up being swept by Ovechkin to center. Fisher on with Cullen. 46 seconds remain in the penalty. Reinforced back. Stolen away by Fisher. And there's going to be a penalty call. Fisher comes on. The backhand try stopped by Holtby. It was a short-handed break for Mike Fisher, and that's going to stop the Capitals' power play after a minute 23.
Washington penalty number 52, 2 minutes hooking.
Green will draw the hooking minor. You see the puck turn over there. Cullen gets inside position. Fisher's there in support. You could make an argument that Fisher is in were it not for the tug by Mike Green. An argument for the penalty shot call. The end zone official lays off, elects to call the minor penalty, so the Washington Capitals man advantage negated in 37 seconds after we conclude 4-on-4. Nashville will go to the power play.
Just the fourth penalty of the game. Down to the final 4:40 now of the second period. Capitals trying to break out. Chimera, the stick check there.
Coach Laviolette goes with a combination of Forsberg and Neal up front in 4-on-4 play.
Hutton got it around the forward. Tipped out to center. And now the Predators, the pass just went awry. Otherwise, the Predators had a 2-on-0.
Tough play for Neal to make, but if he lays off that, I think Weber is in. Forsberg has found Weber to spring him.
Tennessee lottery power play now for Nashville. A minute 13 remaining on the Green penalty. It's Colin Wilson across the line, kicked out. Yossi as the Predators regroup. Brower is on with Brooks Laich as a penalty killing forward for Washington. 2-all the score. 3:35 left in the second. Ribeiro steps up, found some room left side. Brower spins with it. Seth Jones the keep in. And now here's Ribeiro trying to get to Colin Wilson. Couldn't get the puck away cleanly. 32 seconds left in the advantage. A tie score. Ribeiro comes up the right board. Wilson was looking to go back door. Now he's down in the right corner. Ribeiro shakes the head. Wilson takes the puck. Seth Jones the blast. Oh, what a rebound! And another try at it as the puck was knocked down. A spotlight went on, thinking that puck had gone in the net. Not the case. Great chance there. Ekholm keeps it in deep. Power play is over. One shot for Nashville. Still a tie score. Hutton keeps it away from Green, who just served his penalty. Tipped but not out. Nick Backstrom as Ovechkin goes to the front. Coming over and off balance, throwing it across in front was Alsner. 2:20 remaining in the second. Capitals have trailed 2-0 with Alex Ovechkin tallying twice. In the corner left side of Carter Hutton. Backstrom comes out with it. Ovechkin was right in front, and the puck goes up into the netting. So 2:04 remains here in the second period. Predators had a good chance at the other end. A deflecting puck with Mike Ribeiro in front.
Made this point as Mike transitions, Pete. This is a great opportunity, a one-year deal for Mike, an opportunity to parlay this, a solid year, into another solid contract for Mike, and he's playing like a very motivated athlete.
Is he ever?
He's been a terrific addition, has really fit in well with the guys here.
Beck and Bourque. Ovechkin gives it back to the D. Wilson. A minute 42 to go in the period. Got it in deep. Josi and Wilson collide. Kostet is there, came in front, but tipped over on the right wing, and Beck flips it in. Put it in behind Alsner. Now the puck deflected off Alsner's skate, and he takes it right side. Wilson runs into Josi. Stick drop there as a result of that collision. Calle Jarnkrok forced back in the Nashville zone by the Capitals 19. Nick Backstrom. Skated behind the net by Ekholm with Johansson in pursuit. Now under a minute to go in the period. Tipped over right side, Jarnkrok. Down to the end board, Cullen, pursued by Kuznetsov. Seth Jones, this one stays in. And Ekholm shot knocked down in front.
Jokinen providing the traffic again. I don't know that Holtby picks that up. He's just solid positionally. It bounces off him on the short side.
35 seconds to go as Seth Jones swept it in. Chopped out. And in pursuit, Seth Jones ahead of Johansson. Board's getting loosened up tonight. They have plenty of chance to tighten them up while the Predators go on the road into the All-Star break.
Smart play by Johansson. He needs a change, but he drives Seth Jones all the way back behind the protection of the Nashville net before he cycles off.
Beagle with the shot. That deflects off the Predators' Carter Hutton guarding the net. 3 seconds to go in the period. And time runs out, but the Capitals came back to tie it up. Coming up in our second intermission, a look at the scoreboard, Crispy's breakdown, and Lindsay Rowley with assistant coach Bill Housley. Shots on goal in the second. Capitals outshot the Predators 14-8.
Give Nashville the edge in the opening frame. Washington 8-6 chances in favor of the visiting Capitals through the second period of hockey. That was very much a Capitals period.
Icing here against Nashville, so 8 seconds in, the faceoff will come back into the Predators' end of the ice.
I can tell you with great certainty, Coach Laviolette is in that locker room, second intermission, looking for the right buttons to push because this group needs something dynamic to change to get it going the other direction after those 2 goals against Washington. A rather flat period from the guys in goal.
Barry Trotz has put Wilson out with Backstrom and Ovechkin. Wanting a little power and then a little muscle.
That's the one thing Coach Trotz does well. He's got a keen sense of who's going well for him. Wilson has been effective, had effective shifts here tonight. So pushing a guy like Wilson, more minutes, separating pucks to feed Backstrom, and then ultimately over to Ovechkin.
Jack Hillen skates it in. This is the net. Beagle. And now Fischer jousting with Joel Ward as the puck tips over for Shea Weber. Neal could not clear that one out. Leik did a good job on him.
He really did. Terrific job by Leik on the overlap. He sees that play transitioning to Neal on the right wing side, snuffs it out the moment Neal gets that puck.
Weber tried to bunt that out of the air and it ended up going right through on Carter Hutton. Roman Josi comes up, lost it to Kuznetsov. Weber wanted to go off with a change, and now it comes back and Johansson's shot kicked away by Hutton. Predators will be hit with the icing call here again.
Pretty good chance on the turnover for Washington here. Rare moment when Roman Josi, knifing through neutral ice, turns that puck over. Then you're going to see Washington right back on the attack. Johansson, great little shot from the outside. Opposite foot, in stride. Hutton has to be sharp.
Brouwer off the face-off win. His shot blocked by Neal. As Neal got some leather in his face after all of that. Remember this group trapped out there on the icing. Predators now able to get to them. James, but a delayed penalty call coming up against Nashville.
Tough spot. That Neal line, Fisher line is out there tired. That's the moment you're most at risk taking a minor penalty against.
Puck was slipped there by Bourque, but they say no possession. They will now say possession is established. Let's see what the penalty will be.
Good job by Gabby Bourque getting in that passing lane. Otherwise,
Nashville penalty number 6, 2 minutes slashing.
so that's an important loss to the penalty killing unit for Nashville. Shea Weber will sit for 2, assuming it goes the difference. There you see Weber stepping up at the Nashville blue line, playing that puck in the air. Vying for the loose puck for Washington was Brouwer. Weber clips him in the mush as those two battle.
Green with the puck out high. Shot off the pad as Backstrom got it. You can see number 8 is situated on his off-wing side. Trying to get in position for a pass, has to go back out. Now the one-timer off the pad of Carter Hutton. So Ovechkin got his shot there. And now right in front, Johansson, and he pokes home the rebound. And the Capitals take their first lead of the night, a power play goal at 2:38 of the third period.
Now the Ovechkin play at the net does not directly register that goal, but it gets Nashville scrambling, and indirectly, it's an important part of why Washington's able to push this to a lead. It'll cycle back down, and watch, it's going to come into the middle here. There you see Johansson take that move to the inside. That starts the scramble. And it's actually Johansson on a second whack. The rebound opportunity is able to beat Carter Hutton short side before he can seal it off down low.
So Johansson gets his 13th of the year. Capitals with the lead. 2 out of 3 on the power play. They had 4 shots of that last power play chance.
They are lethal. You can overload and try to emphasize Ovechkin take that shot away, but when you do, it opens up these other opportunities like the down low play to Johansson.
White tries to cut in around the D. Capitals out in front. Predators scored the first 2. The Capitals the most recent 3. And an offside against the Predators at 3:17.
Give you another chance to look at that go-ahead goal for Washington. Here's the initial play again by Ovechkin. Big save by Carter Hutton. Quickly recovers possession, does Washington. Then you see the down-low play to Johansson. Key to power play success. Other options in that down-low play. It's another tool in the bag for these Washington Caps. Johansson, great strength in front to ultimately finish on that.
A pass blocked as the Capitals get a second try to clear. Up the left side. Calle Jarnkrok knifing in. For Olli Jokinen. Some room and a redirect try there for Cullen, drawing a penalty against Washington, I do believe. At 3:42 of the third. Here's the rendering.
Washington 44, minor penalty, elbow.
Well, Brooks Orpik goes to the box.
It's going to see Cullen on the wide drive here. Outlet pass. And ultimately, before Jokinen is able to collect that puck, it's Orpik standing up on Jarnkrok and drawing the elbowing minor against. Key opportunity for Nashville to claw its way back into this one.
Capitals managed to clear. Josi. Neal goes up the left side. Josi carries the puck. Dropped it back. So Backstrom and Green with the assist on a goal by Johansson. Weber a blast. Rebound Went up in the air. And comes back to center.
Good chance for Weber. Right point side. Big shooting lane opens up. Holtby is unable to control the rebound. Nobody in around the front.
Weber just tapped it over toward Forsberg as Neal now goes to the front of the net. Forsberg, a shot deflected wide. Beagle comes over. Fisher had him tied up, but then it's Niskanen clearing it.
Like to see Philip taking that shot. Again, for Nashville, similar to the Washington situation, show another wrinkle, get them to respect something, maybe draw the attention away from Weber for a shot from the point.
Ribeiro goes to the corner with Green. Alsner was able to clear it. Hutton holds it up for Seth Jones. 30 seconds remaining on the Orpik penalty for elbowing. Seth Jones carrying confidently to the net. And that shot stopped by Holtby, holding against the right post.
Injury to Ryan Ellis. Silver lining in that one is you're pushing more minutes to a guy like Seth Jones. Great job knifing through neutral ice and then ultimately on the off-wing side building a wall. Strong play at the net by Big Seth. Hope he sees it coming, seals it off.
Quickly across to Ekholm. To the corner with it. Colin Wilson. Ribeiro stands in front. Ribeiro goes to the end board trying to play it, and it's cleared back to center, and that will leave the Predators with 2 shots on that power play as the puck is tipped away. Oh, what a play coming back. Good play there by Ekholm, preventing a potential breakaway for Alex Ovechkin. Burakovsky sweeps it in. Slowed down somewhat by Carter Hutton. Yossi. To the middle it comes. Flipped in Wilson. Jokinen overskated it. Burakovsky lost it there to Cullen. Green recovers. Jokinen there. To the point, Yossi. His shot broken up in front by Hillen. Burakovsky wasn't able to clear it. And then it's sent back down to the Nashville zone and icing against the Capitals.
A little bit earlier, just before this stoppage, good play by Mattias Ekholm. Preds are backpedaling. Good chance for Alex Ovechkin if Ekholm's not able to recover. Look at just a terrific play. Key in this, gets the puck, nothing but puck, and doesn't upend Ovechkin in the process. Super defensive play, and you love that. No minor penalty against.
Timeout here, but who called it?
Well, suspect that with the icing call against Washington.
Yep.
Tired group on the ice. We can deduce from that Coach Trotz of the Washington Capitals has elected to burn his timeout right here and give that group on the ice
a rest. Get some new blades as well.
So good use of the timeout by Coach Trotz. That Ovechkin line, Backstrom been hemmed in their own end for a good long while before this one is flagged down.
Dillon puts it up the board for Ovechkin. Tipped out, Burakovsky. In on the attack. His shot knocked away by Hutton. Weber to Neal. Neal put it between the legs of Orpik. Kuznetsov came back trying to help. Orpik reverses. Brouwer goes over. Blocked by Yossi. It comes back to Fisher. Fisher's shot stopped. Rebound poked away Holtby. Here's Neal trying to come out in front. And the puck sent airborne to center. We want to welcome our viewers here tonight on the NHL Network, picking up our feed from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. The return of Barry Trotz to the Music City. And after his team fell down 2-0, he got 2 goals from Alex Ovechkin. And another here from Marcus Johansson to take a 3-2 lead. 12:25 remaining. Seth Jones in the corner. Pass deflected off Halsner and then sent by Niskanen back to center right. Craig Smith beats Forsberg. Forsberg coming in on Niskanen, backhander, sticked aside by Holtby.
Great puck pursuit by Craig Smith. Great presence of mind to spot Forsberg on the attack.
And the Capitals are offside. Trying to enter the Nashville zone. 8 minutes precisely gone in the third. It's 3-2 Washington. The Predators' first-round draft pick this last June, 11th overall, Kevin Fiala, was reassigned to the Milwaukee Admirals yesterday. He had been playing in the Swedish Hockey League, and his coach there, ex-Predator Andreas Johansson, plus playing for his native Switzerland in the World Juniors. So now he's going to get accustomed to the smaller rink.
Accustomed to the smaller rink, the North American game, showed well with HV71, the Swedish league this year, 14 points in 20 games. Kevin Fiala, so perhaps David Poile and Fiala's representation come to a point where they say, hey, it's time to take another step in the development. We like what we're seeing from young Kevin Fiala. Bright young guy, dynamic young player. All-Star offer, folks. The Predators will be well represented at the 2015 NHL All-Star Game next week. To celebrate, all upper-level tickets for Tuesday, January 27th against Colorado, as well as all Tuesday home games in February, are now just $20.15. See what we did there, Pete?
Yeah, I do.
Ticketmaster.com. Enter code All-Star to redeem yours today. All-Star 2015, $20.15. That's catchy.
Way to place
I
that
didn't write
decimal
that
point.
one. I wish I had.
And there's the shot deflected off the stick of Smith and out of play. The shot taken by Karlsson. 3-2, Capitals the lead.
Craig Smith, 9 points his last 11 games. Seeing duty on that first line, going back to the injury on James Neal. 6 games he's been on that line. Amassed 4 points in that span of time. He's been a great fit.
Off the draw, another shot from his favorite spot there. That gives him 7 shots on goal tonight for Alex Ovechkin.
Really highlights the importance of winning draws when he's out there. He is positioned in Backstrom's sweet spot so that when Backstrom wins it, quick shot by Ovechkin. Winning the draw is the only defense against that play.
Button to his left, caught up in the skates there of Bourque. Chipped out by Gostad as Beck was taken out by Burakovsky. Beck down the boards. Green for Hillen. Brooks White swept in. Tapped away by Weber. Green sends it back. Capitals tag up. Joel Ward down the left side. Now White carries, and that shot by Green, and he shanked it as it took off high into the corner. Josi. Now Olli Jokinen's pass, slightly behind but still fielded and taken by Cullen. Cullen moving in on Hillen. Up the Predators right side. Tipped by Johansson. Johansson with the go-ahead goal here for the Capitals. Jarnkrok squeezed against the boards as he tried to break in and getting held there by Hillen. With the puck now, Seth Jones. He has some room. Jones comes on. His shot deflected. That one hit by Karlsson. Out of the corner. Colin Wilson spun around. Karlsson kept it away from Neal. Kuznetsov turns. And the puck given back up ice. Coming down the side, Johansson. Johansson could not get it entirely around Seth Jones. And then Jones took a hit from Brouwer.
Terrific hit by Jones on puck-carrying Johansson.
Right in front of the rebound, and the stop made by Holtby. Outright robbery right there. 10:32 gone in the third. The Capitals continue to hold the lead. It's 3-2 here at Bridgestone Arena. Caps have had last 3. Can the Predators get the equalizer? Stay tuned.
Good opportunity for the Preds on the attack. This one will occur off the rush. Keep your eyes on that man, Colin Wilson. Play transitions. Neal driving it wide. And then Wilson's going to find some space in front. There you see the rebound kick out to him. Give you another look at it here. This is less great save and more Wilson unable to take advantage of probably more than half an empty net if he's able to elevate up above the pad of Holtby. But give Holtby credit. He gets his pad into the area and ultimately makes the stop. That one would have tied this one at threes.
Shea Weber slow to get up from the left board. And he's going back to the Nashville bench.
Yeah, Shea jumps down the wall. Battle for a loose puck. There you're going to see him.
Not going down the runway, taking a seat on the bench. This spot with Josi taken by Seth Jones. 3-2 Washington. Jones pursued by Ovechkin, gives it to Josi. Deflected in. Holtby was stepping out of his net for just a moment. Backstrom sends it airborne. Josi got it around Wilson to Fisher. Onto the right wing side, Josi picks up. Brings in, Neal cutting across, his shot deflected, came back toward him. And now they break it out to Ovechkin. 3-on-1, Jones is back, Ovechkin shot stopped, rebound there for Backstrom, tried to shovel it home, and it comes behind the net. Nice sequence there for Carter Hutton to keep this a one-goal game. Ovechkin takes the pass, deflects away. Here's Roman Josi breaking up ice with Wilson. Josi holds on, sidesteps Ovechkin, his shot stopped, and the rebound try. Holtby keeps out Craig Smith. Jay Beagle starts it back up.
Terrific opportunity for Nashville right off the high-grade opportunity. Ovechkin, great save by Carter Hutton at the other end earlier in that series.
Here now is Forsberg coming on off the pad of Holtby. Flipped out over the shoulder, and now Ekholm for Nashville.
Forsberg with a great head of steam over the Washington blue line. Niskanen does well to take away the inside part of the ice and kill the chance.
Ribeiro, Alsner, Niskanen takes the carom. Here's Kuznetsov. Turning around. Comes all the way to the right side. Kuznetsov fanned on it, trying to get a shot. Back for Green. That deflects wide. Picked up by Joel Ward. On his backhand. Shovels it down for Brooks Light.
Another dangerous chance for Washington. Big shot from the point by Green. Joel Ward lurking around the net front. Almost gets a piece of that one.
Icing against the Predators. 6:58 remaining.
A little bit earlier, Washington with a high-grade opportunity. See 3-on-1 forming. Ovechkin on the attack. He elects to go with the shot. And why wouldn't you with 2 on the night? Big save by Carter Hutton. And then Josi orchestrates it back the other way. Ends up being a great feed. Wilson then over to Smith. And Holtby in transition seals it off down low. Good save by him. Seeing it well, reacting well, solid positionally all night has been Braden Holtby.
So the Predators with the timeout after the icing call. 6:58 left in regulation. Predators down a goal. Braden Holtby, who has been a tremendous revelation for the Capitals this year. Coming into the game 22-8-7, 7th best goals against, and the 8th best save percentage.
He's been terrific in January. 6-0-1 in that time, if you can believe it, with a 1.71 goals against average, .944 save percentage. He likes 2015.
To the left side wall. Backstrom. Ekholm got in the way of Chimera, and it slides out for Craig Smith. He goes left wing with it. Nice pickup by Ribeiro.
Terrific play by Smith to find Ribeiro.
Now Forsberg, some room. Tapped away at the last by Hillen. Weber back in the action again after being shaken up a few moments ago. Forsberg using his skates, trying to keep the puck in play, and a shot there by Jarnkrok, and that one deflecting wide. Olli Jokinen watches the puck go up the wall. Jarnkrok, now to Jokinen, tipped it across in front. Shea Weber a try, deflecting off Holtby. Calle Jarnkrok got the puck before Ovechkin could have. Cullen for Jokinen. Cullen drives to the net. Cullen in the corner with Jarnkrok. Cullen now working 1-on-2. Jarnkrok fanned on it, and it's Evgeny Kuznetsov carrying up ice with Wilson. Kuznetsov popped up into the air to the left side of Carter Hutton. Up the left board. And rolled back to the Predators' right wing side.
Kuznetsov is challenging Carter Hutton on the short side, off the backhand. Carter does well to fight it off.
Kuznetsov comes on as the puck was taken away from him by Josi. Weber's pass broken up. Joel Ward, and then Weber got it for Colin Wilson. Wilson got away from Beagle momentarily, and there's going to be a penalty here for tripping. 5:14 left in regulation. The Predators will have their 4th Tennessee Lottery power play of the night. 14:46, the time of the trip.
As we go to break, Colin Wilson on the prowl through neutral ice. Going to see he trying to knife around John Carlson. Carlson right there, sticks the leg out, upends Wilson. He'll draw the minor. Key man advantage opportunity for Nashville. 5 and change left, trailing by a goal.
Their 4th of the night, 0-3 with 6 shots on net. Brouwer takes these draws on the penalty kill. Puck fed out for Seth Jones. A little bit of a scramble to get to it. Wilson now for Smith. His shot, rebound, deflected away, and Brouwer clears.
It's like Smith taking that shot. The moment he gets it, wheels, fires. Want to see more gold jerseys around the net front. Holtby had a tough time fighting that one off. Creates a big rebound.
Smith throws it in from just outside the line. Holtby slows it down. Niskanen lost it. Cut back now, and Ekholm's shot blocked by Backstrom. Seth Jones off for Ekholm. He scores! The Predators tie on the power play at 15:31. Matthias Ekholm with the goal.
Big moment, Matty Ekholm, his 4th of the year. Here you see him get jammed, he gets sawed off, trying to get it back from his backhand to his forehand. The play transitions over. Jones finds him, one-time side. Holtby can't get there in time to seal it off. Well placed, short side, halfway up the net. Matty Ekholm, above the pad, below the glove hand. Terrific shot by Ekholm. Key moment. Knotted now at threes under the 5-minute mark.
We had an idea that these two teams would play a game like this coming in.
The first period just forecast that, doesn't it? The way these two teams played through the opening 20, this is a fitting way to sort it out.
Kuznetsov sends in Ovechkin. Ovechkin could not get around Josi. Johansson. Shea Weber and now Ovechkin. And Weber got cross-checked against the end wall by Ovechkin.
Stiff ride from behind.
Weber and Kuznetsov. So Ekholm from Jones and Smith.
Pete, we are clearly in. Let the fellas play. Let them sort it out. Whistle gone into the pocket.
Here's Mike Fisher. Left side, the shot taken. And that one stopped as Neal shovels across in front. Jones takes it in deep on Johansson. Joel Ward up the left side. Fisher stops it. Here's Ekholm again. A blast up. Rebound try off to the side. And that one is gloved off the stick of James Neal. And a standing ovation erupts here at Bridgestone Arena with 16:37 gone to the 3rd.
Terrific shift in momentum on this one. James Neal, you love him, filtering pucks to the net. Chance from the outside, and play's going to transition back out the other side. Opportunity all the while. Matty Ekholm, game-tying goal. He too threatening from the outside left side.
The Predators tradition, the spontaneous standing O. Joel Ward tried to stick him around Seth Jones. Got the puck back, and then a try off the stick of Carter Hutton.
Terrific defensive play by Matty Ekholm. Play out, made out to the front, blocks it.
Carlson brought it in offside. Deflected in by Light. Hutton passes directly to Seth Jones. Down the side, and that shot taken by Smith, handled by Holtby at the top of the crease. Tonight's performance moment is brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
Play cycles back to the left point side. Seth Jones finds partner Matty Ekholm. He's all alone. Opposite side of the ice for Ekholm. A left-hand shot banging away from the right side. Terrific one-time shot to beat Braden Holtby, who has been exceptional here tonight.
Ovechkin just popped into the circle after that face-off. Fired it wide to the short side. Rebound directed out by Beck. Shea Weber with it now. Weber, he puts it in behind Alsner. Up the wall. Alter had to go back after it. Beck prevented that. Now Bork working for that puck in the corner. Backstrom for Niskanen. Niskanen lobbed it up. Knocked down by Wilson. 2:10 left in regulation. Game tied at 3. Terrific hockey game here tonight, folks. Glad you could join us. Wilson off the boards and trickling there for Kuznetsov, who turns and loses. Seth Jones carries. Dropped it back. Neal fanned on the shot coming in. Kuznetsov got a piece of it. Philip Forsberg got it back inside the line, and now Niskanen. Stolen by Neal! He scores! James Neal steals and scores at 18-20. The Predators take a 4-3 lead.
Nothing short of high drama here inside the Bridgestone Arena tonight. James Neal, great individual play. Creates the turnover himself. There you see it right there. Knocks it down, the attempted D-to-D pass. Niskanen filtering in. Neal knocks it down, then walks right in. Holtby shows some daylight between the legs. Neal likes that spot. Beats him for the go-ahead goal. We're 4-3 Nashville. 1:40 remaining.
The two guys, Ovechkin and Neal, each have 2 goals tonight, are off-wing players.
For that reason.
Yes. So Neal stole it away and then put it in the net. Watching Braden Holtby, who's starting to the bench now for the extra attacker, who gets on with 1:15 to go. Holtby has been pulled. The puck deflects across off the front of Nashville goal.
Bad angle chance. Mike Green wheels it at the net. Great pad save by Carter Hutton. Steers it out the far side, but ultimately spits out of the Nashville defensive zone.
Put onto the wall and out of play. Deflected that way. Off the stick of Roman Josi. 52.5 to play. And yet another ovation erupts here at Bridgestone Arena. Predators led 2-0, trailed 3-2.
There you see Neal. That's a little chance he had earlier. Rushes the release. It turns over on him. You see play transition back. Forces it. Hounds that puck. Creates the turnover on Niskanen. And if he's anything, he's a finisher. James Neal. Terrific play on the go-ahead goal for Nashville.
Green throws it down for Backstrom. Josi gets in the way. Brouwer is there too. And the puck is cleared down ice. Had some reverse spin on it. No icing. Ovechkin, 38 seconds remaining. Nick Backstrom drops it back. Hutton slows it down. Backstrom trying to get to it. Popped up in the air, through to center. 22 seconds remaining.
Two smart plays, long, lazy dumps, checked up in neutral ice, chewing up precious seconds.
Brouwer can't get it in. Chipped off the boards.
That's why Paul Gaustad is out there at a moment like this. Two strong defensive plays.
This crowd going wild. Backstrom. And an offside is called as the Capitals cross the Nashville line. They may reset the clock.
Entirely possible. We'll see them spot another second or two on it. Gaustad, great job. You see Cork fronting at the Nashville blue line. That creates the opportunity for Gaustad into support. Turn that puck over, send the Caps back deep into their own zone. Interestingly, fourth line for Nashville out there at a key moment. The game on the line, man advantage, full goalie for Washington. Gaustad, Bork, and Beck playing important minutes.
It's going to be 1.8 seconds to go. Outside the Nashville line. Pulled over wide, and that'll do it. Predators, what a dramatic comeback late in the third period to win this one 4-3.
First win of the season for Carter Hutton. You think the young man is not fired up? He battled. He had to earn this one tonight, and I'll tell you what, he had to pull himself up by his own bootstraps. Alex Ovechkin with a couple of powerful